I made a post about Uzonna, Governor Soludo's son, who acts very feminine online. The intent of that post is not to berate him or to create a system whereby people are going to insult him. No, that's not the intent. When I saw that, it was, at first, it's a really case of mistaken identity because I talked to Mother, I was like, what is this now? So it made me to like post it. The people was like, okay, it's not him, and I acknowledge it is not him because I had to, do my own investigation after the fact. But I also stand by my post, what I said at what I wrote about, how Governor Soludo should talk to his son because his activities online is making people that should not talk to his family in a very rude and condescending manner to do it, and it's because of the young boys' activities online. You get, but this whole argument on homosexuality and his appearances online called me a homophobe. Get some said I'm going to unfollow you because I didn't know you have to be homophobic to be Igbo. But that's not the context. And some other persons said that ancient Igbo society homosexuality was accepted. That's not true. And I'm making this post because it is not the first time, it is not the second time somebody have said something like that. And even in other platforms on TikTok Live, people are still repeating that statement. So let me give some context and some depth to this whole conversation of homosexuality being homophobia being a colonial construct. Now, in our culture as in the Igbo, there are certain aspects of our culture that people will look at and assume that it is appealing to homosexuality, that it is our society was tolerant to it. The first one is same-sex marriage. Now, same-sex marriage, there was nothing like intimacy within that system or that structure. That culture exists for procreation. A system whereby a woman could not give birth to a male child, or a woman could not give birth for her husband, and the husband dies. The woman could decide to marry another woman, and that woman could go out within the family or within the community, get pregnant by another man, and basically the children will now start bearing the name of the late man. This is because bride price is what defines paternity within the Igbo cultural context. Secondly, we have the Adama masquerade. When people look at Adama masquerade, they are talking about how it exalts transgenderism or how it accepts cross-dressing. Because the Adama masquerade, it is characterized by a young man wearing the symbolic appearance, or not only symbolic, a young man appearing as a woman, and his mannerism when he's wearing that masquerade will turn to be that of a woman. Now, the moment that young man enters into that masquerade of Adama, he begins to twist his body, his voice, his dance step, everything becomes feminine. And what our culture is trying to do, because women do not participate all in wearing of masquerade or all these masquerade activities. So they are using the Adama masquerade to represent the feminine aspect of our society. Now, thirdly, we have this practice of female sons. Now, this is a situation whereby a man dies and he has only daughters.